how we're failing grassroots football, and what we can do about it. Grassroots football, it's the heart of the game, right? But right now, the support system for its volunteers is facing a massive crisis. Today, we're going to break down how the current model is letting down coaches, players, and clubs, especially when we're talking about mental health and neurodiversity, and we'll look at a completely new way forward. Let's start by hearing from someone who's right there, on the front lines. So, check this out. This quote's from a grassroots coach, a guy with decades of experience. After serving 33 years as a police officer, he said this new approach to support had a bigger impact than most courses he'd ever been on. I mean, that really tells you everything about the scale of the problem and just how badly a change is needed. So, how did we even get here? Well, it all started with a huge shift in how we train and support the volunteers, who are, let's be honest, the absolute lifeblood of our clubs. And that shift has created a massive support gap. This slide just nails it, doesn't it? It used to be that getting your coaching badges meant weeks on a pitch, in a classroom, building a network of other coaches you could call on for years. Now, it's often just you, alone, clicking through an online course, a total tick box exercise. You get the certificate, sure, but that community, that support network, it's gone. You can't ask a computer questions about the training you're doing. And here's the real kicker. Just as that support network for volunteers has basically disappeared, the challenges they're facing every weekend have gotten so much more complex. The players and families in our communities, they just need more from us than ever before. And what are we talking about here? Well, we're seeing a huge increase in neurodiverse players, kids with ADHD and autism, and so many more young people struggling with anxiety. This isn't some edge case anymore. This is the new reality of mainstream grassroots football. And our volunteers are just left to figure it all out on their own. So, why doesn't this old model of one-off training actually work in the real world? Well, it's because the system is almost perfectly designed to fail, right when it matters most. Think about this cycle of knowledge fade. Imagine you're a coach. You go to a workshop, you get your certificate, you feel great. But then, a few weeks later, it's a chaotic Sunday morning. A real-world problem kicks off with one of your players, and all that theory you learned, it's just faded. You're right back at square one, feeling completely on your own. So when these isolated volunteers go looking for help on social media, what do they find? Way too often, it's hostile, unhelpful advice like this. And this is a real quote from a football Facebook group. It makes volunteers feel stupid for even asking, which just pushes them further into that isolation. The real concern is that grassroots football is trying to solve its biggest problems on Facebook. It's a sad indictment of where we've found ourselves. Okay, now this is the part that's really interesting, because it's about a huge and often completely unknown legal risk that clubs are carrying because of this whole support gap. It all comes down to something in the Equality Act 2010 called the anticipatory duty. Basically, it means your club has to proactively make reasonable adjustments. This isn't about waiting for someone to complain, it's about thinking ahead. For example, creating a quiet space for a player who gets sensory overload. And this is crucial, because neurodivergence can be seen as a disability under the Act. So this legal duty absolutely applies. And get this isn't some new law they just passed. It's been the law of the land for over 15 years, saying, "We didn't know, just doesn't work as a defense. But the truth is, most grassroots clubs have no idea about the Equality Act to these legal duties, and it's leaving them incredibly exposed. So if you don't have a system to track the support and the reasonable adjustments you're making, your club is basically defenseless. When a complaint comes in, you have no evidence, no proof, and that leaves you wide open to claims of discrimination, and it can cause serious, lasting damage to your club's reputation. Okay, so if that old model of just doing a course is totally broken, what's the alternative? Well, the answer isn't just another course. It's a total shift to a complete, ongoing system of support. This comparison really gets to the heart of it. We're moving away from that one-off, theory-heavy event that leaves people feeling isolated. Instead, we're moving toward an ongoing, practical system that gets the whole club involved and builds a real community. And we're talking about a complete toolkit here. It's not just one thing, it's unlimited training for everyone in the club, plus monthly sessions with experts, practical resources you can actually use on the touchline, and a safe, moderated community so volunteers can finally talk to each other. But honestly, here's the secret weapon: a parallel academy for parents and carers, and it's included for free. Think about it. When you educate families on what to expect and what's reasonable, it cuts down on so much friction. It eases the massive burden on volunteers and turns what could be conflict into a real partnership. So, what does this actually look like on the ground? Let's take a look at the real-world impact when you move from that outdated course model to a modern system of ongoing support. First, and this is the most immediate change, that feeling of being on an island, it's gone. Volunteers are no longer working in these lonely silos. They're part of a supportive network of people who actually get the challenges they're facing every single week. Second, clubs can finally stop just putting out fires all the time. Instead of constantly reacting to crises, they have the tools and the confidence to offer proactive, needs-led support for their players and their families. And finally, this provides that crucial evidence we talked about. By documenting training and reasonable adjustments, the club protects itself from legal risk and builds this amazing new level of confidence and trust with the entire community. So, this really all boils down to one final crucial question. In a world that's only getting more complex, is your club just ticking boxes with one-off courses? Or is it actually building a real, sustainable system of support for the volunteers, the players, and the families, who are the very soul of the game?